Grand rising, everyone. Hope you guys are okay. Hope you're doing well, and I hope everything is going as planned. This is Denzomus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empires free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. I woke up at 40. Some people have woken up earlier, maybe 30, I don't know. Some few people have woken up at 20. But usually, one of the things you realize, depending on how your life circumstances have been, the awakening may actually take a very long period of time. There is people who even wake up at 50. People can even wake up at 60. Awakening hasn't been very common so many years ago. It has just been kind of happening the last couple of years, and it has been like a wave of people, particularly individuals who have started waking up from the deep sleep, from the deep slumber. And one of the questions that people ask, how did this whole thing take me so long to figure it out? And of course, you've watched my videos. You know that my awakening personally was after going through narcissistic abuse, which is the common thing on this channel. But many people have woken up from different situations. Everybody has got their own way and what triggered them to wake up. The first question you will ask yourself, how did this whole thing happen? Why couldn't I see this? Now, basically, chosen ones, you need to understand something, that this whole thing of, you hear us talking about spiritual warfare, the spiritual attacks you've been going through, number one, you wasn't supposed to see. So in other words, when you wake up, that means you have actually seen or discovered something you was not supposed to see or to discover. So the spiritual warfare that has been happening in your life has been happening behind the scenes. All these individuals you saw walking in and out of your life, whether it was the family that you came from, whether it was the relationships you had, the friendships you had, the jobs you did, the churches you got involved in, all those things was divinely orchestrated. I know many times people are saying that, oh, okay, so I'm chosen. So why did God send these narcissists? Why did God send these devils in my house? Why did God send this in my job? All these kind of things. I know. I've always also had these kind of similar questions way back in time. But then eventually I figured it out. You see, for you to become a spiritual warrior and claim your victory, you was meant to go through some process. It was supposed to be a painful process. You have been under attack. The devil has been on your case because the devil knows who you are. As soon as that particular moment you stepped into this planet, into this world, the devil already knew who you are. In many cases, the devil already knows your destiny. The devil even knows what you're here for. A lot of times you guys think that these people who walk in and out and do different things against you, we have the people that are just the vessels that will be attached with these spirits to attack you. Those things that you see happening against you, you are supposed to pass the test. Very many years ago, I can promise you, there is a lot of people, so many individuals that never had the chance to wake up. Maybe partly because there wasn't information, so a lot of people was not even aware. There was no means of networking and communication. So A lot of people have been living in the dark for the longest period of time. And there is also a lot of our ancestors who never got a chance to wake up. Now, for the most part of your life, the things that happen in your life as a chosen one, you were supposed to be going through some kind of a training. In other words, you have been battling the devil even without you realizing what he was fighting. It's the reason as to why most of the times when you do wake up is when you start to recognize a lot of this dark spiritual activity that has been happening secretly behind the scenes. The only thing you could recognize is these people. You see their faces, you know their names, you know where they live and what they do mean to you, but you couldn't actually make sense of the spiritual side of what was going on in your life. So basically, your awakening is the second chance. You're being given by a second chance by the Most High. Because if this whole thing continues to go on and on and on, I can promise you the battle you've been fighting, due to the spiritual nature of that battle you have been fighting, you wasn't supposed to make it. If you did not wake up, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea what could have gone on or what could have happened to you. Personally, when I woke up, I had reached the breaking point. Because you see, there has got to be a trigger. Something has got to happen in your personal life. And due to the intensity in nature of that particular event is when now you're going to be triggered. Something triggers your soul to wake up. Because the devil, what the devil has been really doing behind the scenes is keeping you in that little box, blinding your eyes, so you could never understand who you are, what it is you need to do, and you could never be able to wake up from that deep slumber. Now that's when the abuse was going on. That's when all these things was going on, because you was under spiritual warfare. Let's have something to look at if we go even deep, a little bit deeper. Most of you guys have been involved with very dangerous families. You could have been involved with families that participated in different occultism. Maybe there was witches or there was doing different things. Some of you even have been born into a family of murderers. And you was the one supposed to break that cycle. You was the one supposed to wake up and break the cycle. But you see, the thing is, in your tender ages, in your tender times, if you had woken up, you wouldn't be able to survive. So basically, you was hidden by the Most High in plain sight. As you was going through these experiences, there has been a continuous divine protection on your life. Yes, you woke up. Okay, you woke up, and now you're thinking that how did you survive living with these kind of parents? How did you survive living in that community? How did you survive that relationship? How did you survive that psychopath? That is because when the spiritual warfare was going on, yes, that person put you to sleep. They blinded you so they could never be able to understand what was going on spiritually. But at the same time, it was very necessary for you to be kept hidden in plain sight. If you had woken up earlier on, way back in time, the chances are very high that you could never be able to protect yourself. Because in some case scenarios, you have been dealing with very dangerous people. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of times when I talk about this entire thing of spiritual awakening, you need to understand these people have come for three particular things. The devil only wants three things. They are going to steal, they are going to kill, or they will destroy you. It's why you see a lot of times people who have been going through this kind of warfare, many of them have been mentally broken down to the extent that they have been actually, what do they call that word? Transferred or put into mental facilities, because they have already been broken psychologically and mentally. They can no longer function mentally. So they have been actually put into these mental facilities to take care of them. So this whole thing has been happening behind the scenes, and you only can wake up when the time has come for you to wake up. The awakening is the last, is like you've been fighting this battle for a very long period of time. And then eventually at the end, you have been chosen to wake up so that you can be able to start protecting yourself better. And now you can move out of this thing go ahead and live your best life. You see, a lot of times the life will change the very moment you go through an awakening. Your life, it doesn't matter how much you want it to be. It can never be the same. Everything around you will shift, and it is going to shift for the better. But first of all, for everything to shift, you need first of all to see what has been going on so that you see these people. Is why most of the times when the person goes through that spiritual awakening, the very first thing they do is remove themselves from the situation, because now they can see and understand this thing for what it is. Post awakening, you may sometimes think you shouldn't have awakened, because most of these things you see, you can only see things for what they are. You can no longer see things like the way you always wanted them, or you thought they was. I'm talking about the people that you've been dealing with. You can no longer see these people for what you thought they was. You can only see them because it's like you can see through all these things. It's like there's this kind of transparency where you can look through the illusion and you can actually see the person. And when you have seen that thing, you cannot unsee that situation. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who you are. So this whole thing took you a lot of time to see it. There's many people who have woken up after 20 years of abuse. People have been waking up after 25 years of abuse. And the first thing is coming to your mind is that you have been sleeping all this time. You could never understand what was happening. In that particular moment when you was going through those particular situations, the warfare I'm talking about, you was being hidden there in plain sight. You was protected behind the scenes, is why you are still alive. But at the same time, you was being kept hidden because you was being protected by the Most High. There's a very big chance that if you didn't wake up many years ago, in that particular moment where you was very vulnerable, because like I've told you, you could have been dealing with very serious, dangerous people, and you was not in position to protect yourself. There was probably it could have been a problem with funds. You couldn't be able to fund yourself out of the situation. You couldn't be able to protect yourself, whether physically or spiritually. So you couldn't protect yourself. It's the divine that has been protecting you behind the scenes. But you personally couldn't protect yourself. You was in a very vulnerable situation. You was not ready to make your next move. Is why you couldn't wake up in time. So it has taken you ages. Everybody is supposed to wake up at their own time. Okay? It's sometimes why you see, when you have gone through an awakening, there's sometimes you can run into people. And, you may sometimes have some conversations with people. Maybe you're letting them know what has been going on. And people don't understand it. People, they think that you're making up stories. People don't understand what you're saying. Some people might even think you're crazy. Nobody understands you because you're talking about something they cannot recognize. But when the time has come, you're an awakened person, you will not be able to wake up anybody. It is going to be very difficult. Yes, you may have some recommendations, you may have a little bit of advice here and there, but the actual process of going through a spiritual awakening is a divine intervention. So God will choose, or God will decide who is going to wake up and when are they going to wake up. Everybody, I've said, can always wake up at their own time, but it is going to also include a lot of preparation that has got to be done behind the scenes. Let me give you an example. There is so many people that I've been involved with on my journey. We have been spending days, weeks, even sometimes months, even years sometimes. They have been around me, but I could never see these people for who they are. I could never understand who they were, It is when my awakening happened, that's when I was able to understand, okay, so these are the guys, not only the people on the physical, on this 3D, that is the energy, and those are the entities I have been dealing with on a spiritual level. So it took me a very long time. When the time was right, I was able to wake up, then I could remove myself. And believe me, is it going to be a shock? The moment you start figuring things out and looking around you and seeing all the people and these entities for what they are. So when a person has woken up, you kind of become, it's like a threat. You make these people very uncomfortable because you see, when the devil is doing things behind the scenes, the devil doesn't want you to know. They don't want you to see anything. So it is when you wake up that now you're going to become a big problem. A lot of times when you wake up, there is so many people you're going to see around you flipping upside down, and they're going to turn against you in the blink of an eye. The only thing will come to your mind is that these people have always been around. Pre-awakening, they was around. There was a part of you worked with them, you moved around with them, you dated some of them. When you do wake up, all those people may disappear. They don't feel like they have anything to do with you because now this devil recognizes you can see through these people and they can no longer play a game on you. So in other words, what I'm trying to explain in this video, that you was delayed, your awakening was delayed for a certain period of time for you to go through this particular warfare and understand what is going on. Because if you wake up, now you can be able to put things together and make sense of everything. And I've told you guys many times in my videos, this whole warfare that has been happening in your life is a part of your story. It's also a part of your destiny. So you have gone through these lessons, all the tests. You've come out on the other side. You've graduated. So this is the moment whereby it's like a graduation. You have graduated. Okay, you have passed these old tests. Now you can wake up and start making up this experience and understanding what it is, because the experience has also been a part of your story. So it is why you see everybody around the world that are meant to wake up. Not everybody, I've told you, not everybody is going to wake up in this lifetime. Some people came here to wake up, some will not. Everybody has been going through their own journey, and the entire journey that has been happening around you, the entire situation that has been happening around you is a part of your destiny. You're going to use that experience to move further in life. And I've said many times in my videos, it doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm doing, but you could be using a part of your experience to push you even further into your evolution. So basically, this spiritual warfare has been part and parcel of your own growth and evolution. It was meant to happen, but you couldn't wake up at that time because you was being protected. You was very vulnerable. If you had woken up in that particular moment, there is no way you could protect yourself, because in some case scenarios, you have been dealing with some dangerous people, and those individuals, let me tell you something, they couldn't let you live. Even your own parents have many times attempted things on you, things that they will never attempt on their own children. That is because they would feel something in you they couldn't understand, and they want you gone. But for some reason, you are still here because you've always been protected. So do not beat yourself up when you find out that it has taken you so many years, decades for you to figure things out, okay? It wasn't meant to happen at that time. Everything happens according to divine order. The moment comes, you will wake up. You will be able to get out of this illusion and go ahead and move on to do the things you came here to do. So let us know what you think about this video, guys, in the comment section below. You guys know I'd love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support to my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Then Zomos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.